going to come around and pass out a document to you. This document, please make sure everybody at your table receives one.
But it's yours to take notes on.
Yes. This is your graphic organizer to help you organize all the information that we are going to be going through. So please make sure you have a writing utensil of some sort, ideally not a marker. Thank you.
And unless I miss quite a few people, or Ben loves to
I
waste
love to
trees,
print extra.
who missed a copy? Because I have a lot extra. No? Everybody got one?
Always be prepared. All right, so my objective, my goal in working with you right now is to just set the stage for what we are going to be doing later. So, with regards to setting the stage, that means that we have to get some basic terminology down. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay, so on the document in front of you, and our first item up for bid, our first learning objective is to define self-regulated learning. So, your first item on the worksheet is the definition of self-regulated learning. So let's just quickly take a read through this. I don't want you to worry about writing all of this down. Let's just read through it first, and then you can jot down the important components. If you wanted the cheat sheet Cliff Notes version of what self-regulated learning is, self-regulated learning, very simply, is self-control. Self-regulated learning really focuses on your ability to control and direct your own behavior, thoughts, and emotions. This is how you motivate yourself. This is how you set your goals. This is how you teach yourself how to achieve these goals, how you evaluate your performance, and how you go through that process. So we'll give you about 30 seconds here to again, just read through that. Write down the definition of self-regulated learning as you best understand it here.
In your own words, you don't have to copy it right from
Yeah,
there.
please do not. Okay, so self-regulated learning. Self-control. Again, that's the Cliff Notes version. So, if we go back to our learning objectives, bam, there we go. We've already got one done. Pretty cool. So our next item up for bid, now that we kind of have an understanding of what self-regulated learning is, let's talk about why it's important first. Let's talk about why it's important, because we always want to know, why is this important? And from what we've learned from reading our textbook, studies have shown, why is this important for students? Well, it helps to maximize, this is what you want to write down, it helps to maximize overall performance for students. Maximize overall performance. So when students have self-control, when students are in control of their own learning, it maximizes their performance. So let's describe now what an actual self-regulated learner would look like in real life. So, again, don't write down all of this. Let's just read through it first, and then you can put it in your own words. So a self-regulated learner, what they look like. This is somebody, this is like your dream student, right? Who actively seeks out information when they're confused. They're raising their hands, they're asking questions. They're responsible for their own achievement. They find a way to succeed. They understand that when they self-regulate their learning, they're going to be successful. In addition to that, they understand a lot of the importance of this self-stuff, self-reflection, assessment, self-improvement. Again, it sounds like the ideal dream student, doesn't it? So, we'll give you, again, about 30 seconds here to jot down what a self-regulated learner actually looks like in real life. That is the third question on your worksheet.
Again, summarize in your words so you understand. You don't have to write down the textbook definition.
Give you about 10 more seconds. going back to our learning objectives. First, we defined what self-regulated learning was, and then we explained why it was important. Then we described what this actually looks like in real life. Yeah, we said it's kind of like the dream student. I saw a lot of you nodding your heads. That's a good thing. So, if this is such a good thing for students, then we should probably talk about how we can then take our students from where they are today and help to become a self-regulated learner. Is that a fair assessment? How can we help our students become a self-regulated learner? So we looked at a model, a specific model, and this model can be found on the rest of the document on the front and the back. What we are going to do next, we are going to take a look at the 6 components. The 6 components that will help a student to become a self-regulated learner. We start with motivation, study strategies, so on and so forth. What we are going to do is we are going to give brief definitions to what these are, and we want you to write those definitions, again in your own words, in this area of the worksheet. Okay? Do not worry about the bigger component, just write down the definitions underneath. So, how can a student become a self-regulated learner? What does a student need to do to become a self-regulated learner? First and foremost, they need to be motivated. So we want you to write down a version of this definition, your desire to set a goal, and the process of staying on task. We want you to write that down right here, right underneath the word motivation. So we're all working with the same definition.
And it links into the goals that we talked about previously this morning.
Additionally, students, if they want to be self-regulated learners, they have to be applying appropriate study strategies, approaches to learning. That's your definition for study strategies. On the back side, we get to time management. And time management, very simply, organization related to time. And we're going to write that in the small box. Organization related to time on the back side. And the final 3 things that students need to do to become a self-regulated learner. We need to talk about feedback. And when we talk about feedback, students need to get feedback from instructors and peers. Self-feedback is also important as well. Self-regulated learners need to think about the environment or the actual place that they're studying. Where are these students studying? These are things that they need to think about. And the last component that a self-regulated learner should think about, other people. Who are they studying with? Who do they seek help from? So, what we have now, we have the 6 different components as it relates to becoming a self-regulated learner. The 6 things that students should be thinking about to be a self-regulated learner. What Hope is going to do next, Hope is going to walk you through an activity where we as instructors actually can develop suggestions for students on how they can thrive in these different areas. So I'm going to turn it over to Hope.
Okay,